Well, that's what we've been waiting for, the whole shot for Toby Summers. He's got it. He's won here before in the 600. He struggled a little bit yesterday trying to get drive out of that big Castrol corner, but he's got the whole shot. But he's been hunted down. Right now, Jake Lewis on the 29, the show goes past. David Hall here in third place, but I think that's just gone back to fourth with 85. James Hungermusum going in there. Tries round the outside at the John Jones Steel corner, but doesn't make it stick. Super Sport 600 action here at levels for the second round of the New Zealand Superbike Championships 2016. James Hungermusum leads 96 points, 85 for Jake Lewis. Toby Summers on 58, 58 for Rogan Chandler on the Yamaha. We go back over to the hairpin there, and it is still Toby. Not still Toby, he's got back in the front, because remember, down that back straight, the speed of these underground brown budget motorcycle spares, Triumphs reeled him in, and of course the riding skill, Jake Lewis, but Toby Summers has come back. Could this be his maiden win here for the New Zealand Superbike Championships? He had 2 wins against the mighty Shane Richardson. He won at the Cemetery Circuit, won one before. We all thought Shane would come back after his AMA experience and just be unbeatable here, but no, he got the series in the end. But Toby had 2 wins, and now he's holding it. Here comes the speed of the Triumphs, the slipstreaming. They pull up there at the 250 metre mark. And Toby's going to try around the outside. Is he going to get it? Almost side by side, but the Triumph just pulls another bike length there. And we've got to go to the C-test screen to see if we need to change a position. A leg down there for Jake Lewis, 6 at MotoGP style. He's all right. We change cameras. They're out of sight of us here at Timaru. That's part of the racing. 29, 22, 85. David Hall in 4th place with Rogan Chandler. We can still see his Slicks sticker on there. That happens for the first few laps of any sort of race, even superbike. So he's pushing it hard, does a young teenager from Lower Hutt, Rogan Chandler. But we can still see his sticker there flashing away on the beautiful C-test footage. So it's Triumph, Kawasaki, Triumph, and then Suzuki. Go back to the Yamaha and Avalon Biddle. She led a couple of races last weekend and eventually got gobbled up, but now she sits there in 6th place on the beautiful MTF. Chris Osborne, Aussie prepared motorcycle, the Kawasaki 600, probably the most colourful person and bike on the track and probably off the track. Here we go, Alistair Hungermusum, his brother James, it reels in Toby Summers. That's relegated Toby back to 3rd. Can he fight back? He goes round the outside, he gets it back there, goes back into 2nd place. David Hall on the Suzuki from Te Awamutu has got an incredible view. Now, David Hall is just a legend of motorcycle, a little bit of a quiet lad. He's a dairy farmer in Te Awamutu. Last weekend after Ruapuna, he flew back to Hamilton, got back home to the dairy farm where his mother has been looking after it for the weekend, doing the cows and milking the cows and all that sort of thing. There was a tree falling down on his house, so he had to chop all that off there, then get into the farm and have a good look, because Fonterra were coming on Monday morning to do a dairy farm inspection. So races bikes all weekend, mate. Led some of the racing last weekend and did all that. It's absolutely incredible to see David here on the number 34 machine. Triumph, Kawasaki, Triumph. Here's David Hall coming, trying to get that Triumph there. It is 85. James Hungermusum, I keep on going to say Alistair Hungermusum, but that's the thing you've got. Matthew Hungermusum not here this weekend, another one of the brothers that race. So it's Triumph, Kawasaki, Triumph down the back straight. What have we got in terms of lap records? The lap record is a 1:04.555. We're about 1.2 seconds off that, so we won't even worry about that kind of thing. Toby Summers has been relegated, I think, to 3rd. He tries to fight back, but James Hungermusum had seen exactly how he'd come back last time and just upped his game just that little bit there to get through. And David Hall, don't discount David Hall. Bit of a lonely ride there and behind for Avalon Biddle on the number 21 machine. They go out of sight of us. We're looking at the commentary and it's a Triumph, Kawasaki and Suzuki. David Hall, mate, is right on this pack, and they're starting to pull in Rogan Chandler as well. Who's the quickest man on the track? A 1:05.377, a 1:05.273 for David Hall. He's the quickest man, so he's in 4th place. He's just got to find his way through there. And working with it. I mean, Toby Summers is just a force in motorcycle racing. All these guys are a force in motorcycle racing as well, as we see Chris Osborne putting out the lap board for young Avalon Biddle. Triumph, half a bike length between them, 2-3 bike lengths back to Toby Summers. The most important thing at the corner of the track, I believe, is coming out of this Castrol corner and giving the drive to back straight. It's all about suspension. There goes David Hall into 3rd place. Can Toby Summers come back? He's going to try around the outside, but David Hall is the fastest man on the track and gone up into 2nd. Can we see a maiden win for David Hall? No, it won't be a maiden win. No, yes, it will be. No, it won't be a maiden win. I'm trying to think. Back at Hampton Downs some years ago, in one of the wettest races I've ever seen, David Hall took a win and a second place there in wet conditions. So David Hall in there, trying in third place, trying up on the 2 Triumphs. But Toby Summers is never going to give up on the Mad Love Media. Carl Cox sponsored machine. Sorry, I had to think about it. He was sponsored by R&R Power Sports. He's still supported and sponsored and bike tuned by R&R Power Sports in Auckland. So we're joined back by Neil Ritchie. This Triumph thing on me is incredible out the front, but David Hall is absolutely on fire. What do we got? David Hall, a 105.189, a 105.178. So less than 1/100th of a second between those two guys. A 105.473 for Jake Lewis is the best time. So he's the slowest of this pack of 4 people. Almost, sorry, 105.6 for Toby.
All right, here we go, courtesy of Timaru Yamaha in our fabulous Super Sport 600 class. And we are doing now a podium for every one of our classes at the end of racing. We were going to do it just for the final round this afternoon, but we've decided with the interest that's been shown that we're going to film them down here as well at the end of each race. So taking our time as we grab our breath and get back into it. This is just fabulous. Man, these conditions, Spider, you did the thermometer before. What did we get?
Low 30s, 32, 33. That was just a pit lane. That's the same as out on the track. So
yep.
Gold conditions. And this track's got a funny way of heating up, and it actually gets better and better, whereas others don't. And Robbie Bugden on the Dunlops had huge troubles here and huge victories as well. Look at those 4 bikes coming through the bus stop. The bus stop, one of the most legendary flip-flops in the country. Bit of a break there for James Hugenbosom as well. He's really up the ante there and got a 0.4 second gap. We go back into third place. It is still David Hall coming around that Castrol corner. There's 2 bike lengths in it. Who's the drive out of the corner? The Triumph seems to be just that little bit more. So it still is Triumph, Suzuki, Yamaha, and then Kawasaki, then Yamaha.
There we go, so out racing again with Underground Brown and Budget Motorcycle Spares, this great team out of Christchurch. Lovely Tony and Vicky Brown. They saw the potential of Dennis Charlotte as a rider, and they love their motorcycle sport and thought, well, let's go the bigger time and we'll support a superbike rider. And then Dennis said, well, hey guys, it's not just about supporting me, it's about supporting the sport. So get involved in the club and give us a hand. And of course, what Tony was able to do last year in getting that Super Sport 150 and a truckload of them taken to the North Island to support racing up there, I just find incredible. So great to see. And he's even gone further now, and through Dennis and the Budget Motorcycle Spares team, he's supporting the other riders on the racetrack. So it's not all about Dennis, it was about supporting the greater part of the sport. And I love the story. And Tony and Vicky, we salute you. Underground Brown and behind Dennis and the team at Budget Motorcycle Spares and these fabulous Triumph 675s. And isn't it great to see? Yes, they had an opportunity to bring this bike into the class, but we saw in its infancy that a 675 was well overshadowed by the strength of the Japanese 600cc 4-cylinders. But these Triumph triples are in fact a bike that is now being made much more comparable, and we're seeing that on the racetrack. So James Hugenbosom ahead of Jake Stroud. Normally, if you see the two of them together, 9 out of 10 times, if you would have watched the previous lap, would have been the other way around. But great to see James and the strength of his racing as he pushes his way through there. So nice to watch on the Triumphs at the moment as we go for the glory. So
there's a bit of a problem in the pits. I was just going to mention Dale Finch had a couple of brown parades with their team last night. Number 7, it's actually 77. Dale Finch is a retirement, and that's the Scott Structural, I think. Scott Structural, I think the sponsor is there. So that he was fighting with Ashton Hughes. Ashton Hughes has been having a bit of trouble this weekend where his cam chain system on his Triumph 675 disintegrated. So a man by the name of Conrad says, you take my bike, put some new numbers on it, and you can go. So the bike's not quite as quick. Ashton Hughes was a strong charger. He was on the back of the top of these 5 quite often last weekend, but he is now on a machine with, we got a big crash there, and that is Toby. That is Toby Summers. He's moving around there, gone down at turn 2. So Toby is moving around. That's the important thing. Let's get back to what's happening on the main straight down the back stair. And it looks like to me Jake Lewis is reeling in James Hugenbosom. No slipstreaming going on there too far away, but a battle going on there between the two bikes. Down out of the John Jones corner, I cannot see them. You'll see the main difference between those two bikes is James Hugenbosom's got a bright yellow number plate on the side of it. It's the easiest way to pick him up. That's off into the distance. So a bit of a tough game for young Toby Summers there. Well, old Toby Summers got married this year, but he's picked his bike up and he's off the side of the track. So he'll be disappointed in losing some points, Neil Ritchie.
Yeah, there we go. Bad luck for Toby, but good luck now for James. The kind of points that he wants to get back on Jake Lewis. So the 85 to get out there. It's still James Hugenbosom. We're picking up James. He's got the advantage in the front. Looking out for him. For those of you looking from a distance or on the CTS live audio video streaming as well, you may be able to pick up the red helmet of Jake Lewis. So the quick glance you do out across the track as the red one is Jake Lewis. Lewis. And at the moment, that is a second place, and Spider's got his eye here with Toby's recovery, so we'll get back to Spider and see what that is shortly. Oh, a little bit of the sideways. Don't you love that corner and the drive that comes out of Castrol? Well, in fact, it's got a complete rename as far as the circuit is concerned. I think it's called something like South End Bay or something. So we'll need to go back to that, but we've just known it as Castrol for years and years. The map's still up here of the Timaru International Motor Raceway circuit shows that. And interesting, and congrats to the South Canterbury Car Club who own this facility. They're actually having their 50th anniversary and a dinner at the end of this month as well. So to local people or people that have had anything to do with either the motorcycle club and road racing or the car club themselves who own and operate the function, it is a 50th anniversary, 1968 through to 2018. So well done to South Canterbury Car Club. Not too many car clubs own a facility like this around the country, so well done South Canterbury. Yes indeed, the Southland Sports Car Club is another in Teretonga, New Zealand's oldest race circuit. So they're not an exclusive club, but it's certainly a pretty elite club at that, and great to see. So here we are with our update of racing. James Hugenboos from Jake Lewis, ahead of David Hall, Rogan Chandler and Avalon Biddle in there. Unfortunately, no Toby. Toby is too bad. He's out of the race at the moment. So bad luck for the team. Carl Cox Motorsport, R&R Power Sports, Kawasaki 600 rider. But that battle on, and fury is just fantastic to watch between James and Jake. I'm also at some of these events. I'm looking for them to literally tied together and to go across the line side by side, because that's where they deserve to be. And I think it's fitting that we've now got James who's got the advantage, because Jake's had his share as well. Now it's James's turn, and it seems to be whoever gets their wheel in front can stay in front. So great, close, fast and exciting to watch, Spider.
Oh, mate, this is sensational racing all the way through, and represented by a number of different bikes. I think of that last lap, Rogan Chandler was the fastest on the track. Now, all these bikes are spread out enough, they're not holding each other up in terms of dicing each other. So Rogan Chandler is just getting stronger and stronger. The former 125 Grand Prix champion from, I think, 2-3 seasons ago, but he also still holds the lap record here, 2015, the lap record for the 125 Grand Prix. Equally at home on a Norton Commando at Classic Races. He's raced them at Whanganui as well as a Triumph 675, and this year Yamaha took him across to Australia and spent quite a bit of time with in Australia running the 300 class. Had quite a few crashes there, and I said he's an analytic young lad, and I said, what's happening there? And he said, I think I've just got a lot more weight, so critical in that smaller class with the power to weight ratio quite tight, and he was just pushing it so hard. But back here, and it's great to see Yamaha New Zealand help him out and make available a bike at a reduced rate so he can get onto the track here and that sort of thing. So right now the two triumphs. Okay, let's have a look through the whole field. James Hugenboos, Jake Lewis, David Hall, Rogan Chandler, Avalon Biddle, Ashton Hughes, Peter Allison on 86 there, Simon Perry, John Crawford and Tom Langridge. Had a quiet beer with Tom Langridge last night. He was trying to set up his bike with something. We've still got a yellow down there at turn 1. That is a bike out of action at the Castrol corner as well. We're going to get the binoculars there. Had a bit of a beer with Tom, just a chat with Tom, and he had a problem moving around on his seat, and he actually went and got a floor mat out of the car and was modifying it. I said, have a good think about it, get on your bike, because it might grip you too much. So it'll be interesting to see what he's done. But Tom Langridge absolutely just loves getting out in the sport. He knows he's going to get lapped, but he's enjoying it. I think he's also in the Super Sport B class, where we've got riders Dale Finch, who's out at the moment, Simon Perry and Tom Langridge, or is Dale back out on the track? Not too sure about that. That's Dennis Charlotte coming back. Oh, no, he's just, sorry.
We haven't been able to pick up who that other one is, Spider, and it's a blue bike. I can't see the number. It's a long way off, but we've got nobody else that has dropped back that far out of it. So, well, only if he went out in that last little bit of the race. So,
all right, we've got 3 laps to go in the Super Sport 600 class, brought to you by Timaru Yamaha. I don't know, I haven't had to say Timaru much. That's what we don't want to go to Timaru in the taxi though. Shoei helmets, Shirai batteries, Berwick leathers, RST leathers, Michelin tyres, Pirelli, and any part you want for any motorcycle. Grant Ramage works here, and he's been around for longer than most people. I think when he was young, the Dead Sea was only sick. That's how long he's been around, but he knows everything about motorcycles, and you've seen him out here lead the 250 production race. So that's what they advertise in the program, but they certainly got a lot better product there. There's that Rogan Chandler reeling in David Hall down that back straight. David Hall, this is the minor money for the podium as we see the 2 Triumphs tighten up, going out of sight. The slow motion here between, no, that disappeared. We're looking at C-Test as well. Normally we wouldn't run a C-Test monitoring here because in other years there's been a 30-second delay, but now we have that live. So we've got a lot of stuff to watch here. Commentary coming across a lapper there, Neil Ritchie.
Oh, yeah, isn't it fabulous to watch around their hip and beautiful. Just seeing how low the bikes get through there, and you can see it on the widescreen update. So nice to look out for with our 2 orange bikes looking for that lapper. He's a good guy, moves right over there and allows them to go through. And look at that, the flip-flop through there. And there it is, the white flag goes out. It's 1 to run as we go to this big 15 lapper. So the pressure going on at the moment. Just a little after 11 a.m. here this morning, and still under clouded skies, but zero wind, absolutely zero wind, and a warming track as well. We're expecting a high of 26 degrees Celsius today, so it is going to warm up. You can see a break in the cloud all around, getting lighter and warmer and better all the time as they go down the straight for the final time here at the Alpine Energy Trust Circuit and the John Jones Steel Sweeper, my favourite corner of a road race track in New Zealand. I just love that as they go around that corner. It is so beautiful, perfectly symmetrical as you're around it. It just goes all the way through, and it's one of those, of course, you can keep up a great speed. You've got the likes of course, some of our smaller capacity classes. They only have to drop the throttle. They don't even worry about the brakes as they peel their way around through there. So it's spectacular with a capital S, and loving that one. John Jones Steel getting him behind at the Timaru International Motor Raceway circuit. Here we are for the final time. Look how close we're seeing from Jake Lewis. Right on the tail here. Wants the opportunity to go, but it should be the James who can boost him show. Has it been the change? It may have been the change. Out there, yes, it is the red helmet. It's the red helmet. We've seen the change, and that's why it was tight, because the change had just been executed, and it happened on the last lap here as we look for the next one as well. And well, there we go. Rogan Chandler just holding it there over David Hall. So 2 great battles in the end, and Jake Lewis has done it. And we're going to see whether we can get an update of just where that might have happened. I think we were seeing the finish of it as they went to the hairpin, because when it looked like they were so close, I thought it was the attack of Jake, but it was that fact